Halo, when it was first developed, was something that you could pick up and learn. The simplicity of it is what drives the complexity of it. Now follow me on this, right? The reason Halo was so big was because anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're a dad, if you're a kid or whatever, anybody could pick up a controller and figure it out, right? Melee, aim, shoot. And you had X, Y, and Z in between, right? You had some button combos here in CE and you had button combos into it, all that. But for the most part, anybody could pick up Halo and figure it out. Compare that to Call of Duty or Fortnite nowadays when you have 40 different button configurations and all of these different combos and things to like make certain things on your character work. It's too much for the average gamer. And when you have a game that's designed around that simplicity, it makes you practice the fundamentals more than anything else.
Hey fellas, engaging with and sharing our work makes the algorithm favor our content. We're asking for your help to reach more folks passionate about this art form. Please share, like, comment, and engage with our content the most you can. We appreciate you. Now here's what you came for.
Right.
We got Blake the Strafe here. Blake, can you just introduce yourself for the community and everybody watching?
Yeah. So,
Go for it.
all right. So my name's Blake. A lot of people might know me from way back in the MLG days that are still around. I used to go under 2 different aliases. One of them was my YouTube alias, which was BW Sparked. But I also had on Game Battles and shit in my MLG profile, I was under Maverick. But the Blake the Strafe thing, that's a more recent thing. My buddies gave me a nickname with like a few years ago when I started streaming non-Halo things. So it's nobody in Halo will know me by that. But if you remember me from back in the day, those are my gamer tags.
So how was that, by the way, being like a Game Battles moderator?
Man, if you were 14, 15 years old at the time, like I was, like, so I'm technically like I was 14, 15 years old when Halo 3 and 08 and 09 was popping off, to give you like an age kind of gauge of where I'm at. So as much as I loved the Halo 2 and I always played like some online things for Halo 2 in my younger age, I was more of a Halo 3 kid technically. So a lot of my MLG experience and my Game Battles experience from an administrator standpoint or somebody that's actually decent at the game is mostly through Halo 3. So I did a lot of things like going to online tournaments through Game Battles. There was a bunch of LANs back in the day that you could use the MLG Pro forums to find locals to play with. And I was very, very LAN centric. I didn't play, I mean, obviously I had my 50 and all that, you know, in every playlist, but the majority of my grind time was on LAN back in the day from Halo 3, doing MLG stuff.
Oh man, that's old school as hell, dude. MLG's like, is it even around nowadays? Like, is it even a thing?
It's a shell of its former Halo self for sure, and they have a bunch of other games. A lot of people don't know, but back even in like the old days, right when we were getting out of Halo 3, MLG started doing StarCraft and other RTS based streams, and those things popped off so hard in Korea. It would like, if you thought it was bad when the servers would crash watching the old MLG finals and things, like those StarCraft games were also huge, and like MLG made this big shift from console FPS over to RTS at that time. And that's kind of like why a big reason that, aside from the game of Reach not being programmed well, but that's another big reason why console FPS kind of died off in MLG.
Are they still around though? Like, I haven't really looked up MLG website for like years or whatever.
They still do game battles and stuff, but it's a lot more RTS oriented and like sports games oriented now. They still had Madden and shit back then, which was hype, but there was the like main stage was Halo. You know what I mean? And they don't.
Right.
That's not them anymore.
So, I'm
But
curious.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you about if you could tell us a little bit about Cult Zodiac, because I know you just told me not too long ago you don't really have that much time. It's probably gonna be like a 30-minute episode, if not less.
For sure, for sure. I'll see how my girl's feeling. She might be cool hanging out for a little bit. But so it's Cult Zodiac is an org that was started by myself, Goatmanjaro, and Office Hyena. And the main vision when we first started for Cult Zodiac was that we knew that people all from the Halo community were going to get divided out when Halo Infinite drops. Like Goat had Cult Zodiac going with everything, but like as a community, we didn't have like the marketing and the montaging and all this stuff active until we knew that Infinite was going to essentially kill the franchise. And we didn't want everybody from the Halo community in our friend group to go out and lose each other in these new games. So we started off with this idea of like, hey, why don't we start a clan of Halo gamers? Even if we're not playing Infinite, we're going to game on other things. And we're going to take these best clips of ours on these other games, and we're going to do our Halo-esque spirit and keep our gameplay alive, even though the franchise doesn't like have survivability in terms of big viral markets and such compared to things like Call of Duty or whatever. So we have people like Tim Rager being featured in episodes of like community montages on where he's playing Overwatch. And damn, dude, like these, like there's a saying, and like Snipedown talks about this on Twitter all the time, but Halo kids are the gold standard for transitional esports. Like if you're good at Halo, you can transition to almost any esport and adapt very quickly and very professionally compared to a lot of other gamers. Like a Fortnite centric person would not transfer over as easily in an FPS, if that makes sense. But we wanted to keep everybody together.
Can you
And
expand on that?
eventually,
Can you expand on that? Like why Halo is such a good game and base for all other esport games?
Yeah, it's easy to explain. Halo, when it was first developed, was something that you could pick up with your hands and learn. The simplicity of it is what drives the complexity of it. Now, follow me on this, right? The reason Halo was so big was because anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're a dad, if you're a kid or whatever, anybody could pick up a controller and figure it out, right? Melee, aim, shoot. And you had X, Y, and Z in between, right? You had some button combos here in CE and you had button combos into it, all that. But for the most part, anybody could pick up Halo and figure it out. Compare that to Call of Duty or Fortnite nowadays when you have 40 different button configurations and all of these different combos and things to like make certain things on your character work. It's too much for the average gamer. And when you have a game that's designed around that simplicity, it makes you practice the fundamentals more than anything else. There's no other mechanics in there like jetpacks or, I mean, albeit reach at it, but you know what I'm saying? Classic Halo didn't have these, I call them crutches for players to get easy kills or whatever it is, like the Spartan charge or the Spartan slam in Halo 5. Like these cheese mechanics are not in the OG game, so you had to learn to be good at the fundamentals of combat, melee, aim, shoot. You didn't have anything else. And if you could get good at that, you go to these other games where people are dependent on these cheese mechanics, you're going to slap them up and down the block. And we see that time and time again out, like, just like I said earlier with Snipedown and all these other different pros that have transitioned out. Formal. Guy can pick up a controller between the two fucking games, COD and Halo, and just podium. Doesn't matter. Right. So there's something to be said about the fundamentals and the game sense of taking out everything that these game developers are adding nowadays to give these newer players a helping hand, when the new players, what they really need is simplicity. And that, I think, is going to solve this issue of not having a game to kill COD or kill all these other games and stuff, because COD, even though it has like slide mechanics, all this stuff, it's very heavily catered toward the casual audience. And Halo doesn't have that. As much as they want to say like, oh, we're esports centered and we're this centered, the esport, it's hard to compare it to classic Halo because it's more of a Fiesta sandbox and it's more of a slide and like all these the hit boxes and the player size, the map ratio is all different. You know what I mean? There's all these new things in there that make it such a more complex arena shooter than the classic Halos. And I don't mean complex as in like, oh, this is going to add skill gap. If anything, it just prolongs gunfights kind of a deal. It doesn't really like compare that to Halo 2 with the trade-off system or Halo 1 with the button combos. Like if you were to double shot in Halo 2, there's a trade-off. If you miss the input, you don't get to shoot and you're stuck in animation. You're probably going to die. So, well, in Halo Infinite, it's like, oh, well, you just slid off of this ledge. Now you're flying 20 miles an hour away and like nobody can catch you. And it's this whole cat and mouse kind of thing. Whereas the punishment factor in the classic games I believe is what really created a skill gap.
I also thought, like, and I can add this because I mean, I talked to DaVinci about this, and he said, like, when these games are one shot kill, right? Like, for the most part, kind of, like the COD and the Counter-Strike and Valorant games and stuff. They're pretty much like one shot kill. So, I mean, whereas in Halo, like, you got to get those consistent shots up in order to kind of get the kill in there. You kind of you got to earn it, right?
There's a fine line, and I'm glad you brought this up because the idea of TTK within esports is so important, and a lot of people don't understand it fundamentally. So watch this, right? I'm gonna just follow me on this thought. Counter-Strike is known as one of the highest skilled esports in the world of all time, right? I mean, like mouse and keyboard. I mean, we're talking game sense, arena style shooter. But why is it that the TTK is extremely fast in that game, but it's considered one of the most competitive esports? It's because of the reaction time and the power of the individual. Now, watch this, right? Follow me on this. Halo 1 and 2. Halo 1 has the fastest TTK of any Halo game out there because of the pistol, right? So Tommy Cost did a video on this. If you guys go on YouTube,
Blake, for those of us that are noobs like me, what is TTK?
Oh, TTK stands for time to kill. It's the measurement of milliseconds that it takes your character, if all shots are perfect, how long it takes to kill an opponent, right?
Okay.
So a lot of people argue, oh, a longer TTK is better because, oh, well, it gives you more time to fight back and you can counter people at X, Y, and Z. However, when you look at things like Halo 3, Halo 4, and Halo 5, where the TTK is longer, and I can explain this on Halo 3, the first nerfing that they did was the bullet velocity of the battle rifle. I don't know if you guys know this, but the battle rifle in Halo 3 is 1/3 the bullet velocity of the Halo 2 battle rifle. It's nerfed into the ground, right?
That's fascinating.
So you're adding time. Yeah, so you're adding time to kill, not only just with the longevity between shots of not having double shots and things, but now you're adding on bullet velocity distortion into the TTK. And if you look at all of the games, Halo 1 through 5, Tommy did a whole graphical chart, and they take game data on how long it takes and how much damage this is the important thing, how much damage can a person that is down a shot do to you back is, I think, the biggest problem that people don't understand when it comes to the skill gap. Now watch. In Halo 5, if you have the first 3 shots on somebody because of the boost and all of these other mechanics that go into it, the average shot and the average TTK goes up. Now, the person that got the first shot now, on average, they only have a small sliver or no shields left based off of the person's ability to turn and burn them because the gunfight's longer. Whereas Halo 1 and Halo 2, if you have the first shot on somebody, at best, if they're like quad shotting you, like maybe hitting their target, like you're only gonna lose half shields. So now we're getting into the discussion of the individual player's slaying power. And if it, like, just like Counter-Strike, if one person could snap faster and snap quicker onto the enemy that's in a bad position, I believe as a person that gets deep diving and nerdy on esports, that a faster TTK in Halo at the Halo 2 level is the sweet spot for esports, because it has the balance of not being too short like Halo CE, but it also has the button combos and the other things that you can fight back with to counteract things. So you get into Halo 3, the other big problem that is a huge issue with the TTK and thus the skill gap is the melee system. So like Halo's simple, right? Melee, aim, shoot. After Halo 2, they nerfed the close range melee in a big way. So watch this, right? Halo 1, you go up in close range combat. Anybody that plays Halo 1 knows there's no lunge in Halo 1, and you have to be on target next to your opponent, aiming at their body to get the hit, right? It doesn't reward the hit if you miss, right? Halo 2 gave a little bit of leeway, and they gave you a lunge, but the lunge didn't correct your aim onto the player. It would just move you towards the target. You still had to aim onto the player. Now, here's why Halo 2 and Halo 3 marks the decline of esports. And I know people are like, what the fuck, Blake? Halo 3 was great. So watch, right? I have videos of this, and you can do this in your own lobbies. You can go and test this yourself. Go in Halo 2, stand toe-to-toe like you're about to BXR each other, right? Have one person crouch. Don't move your aimer. Just have it where their head would be. Go ahead and melee. your melee is going to miss. It's going to miss, right? You go into Halo 3, you do the same exact configuration. You guys are standing toe to toe, right? One guy's crouching. You don't move your right stick. You're aiming at where their head would be. The game corrects your aim with no right stick input onto the player. So a third of the game from Halo 3 onwards was heavily assisted by melee aim assist. So the idea of close range combat and a skill gap, like if you ever play against me in FFA, or if you watch old montages and shit, people crouch BXB. People would fucking jump after a BXR. They would fucking strafe out of the way and BXB from the side. I do this crazy shit where I crouch and I uncrouch while BXRing because I know someone's going to crouch into a BXB that's a higher player, and I'm going to win that gunfight while strafing them, right? So there's a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter-esque element to skill gap in Halo 2 that does not exist anymore on any FPS game because of how cranked up the melee aim assist is. So to me, when people ask like, oh, what is, a skill gap, what is this and that? It's the ability to dodge, like just like boxing. Like imagine if you're boxing and the gloves like connected for you instead of like being able to slip somebody's punch. Like it wouldn't be a sport, right? So to me, like when we talk about these things and like people are like, oh, you're just OG, you got like rose glasses on. It's like, no, I have scientific data. I have code that like proves that the skill gap has diminished because of these things. So when people talk to me, they're like, oh, why do you clown on Halo 3 so much? I'm like, because that was, in my eyes as a kid, the downfall of a skill gap. I used to watch people on Halo 2 montages pull off insane close range things, flying past people with swords and then like double shotting them while flying behind them. All kinds of crazy, beautiful things that the human mind could pull off that have just been completely eliminated because a game dev at Bungie decided, oh, the newer players are getting ripped up too hard. But it's like, it's this idea of like, well, maybe they should. Maybe they deserve a level 20. Maybe not everybody deserves a fucking Onyx.
That's what made
like,
the game
maybe
good.
You have to have... Yeah, like if you had a 36 back in the day, people were like, oh, fuck, look at that guy. He might be standby and cheating, but fuck, dude, that's a 36 right there. Like, and it's like nowadays, everybody's got an Onyx.
Would you say
everybody's got fucking overkills?
Would you say Halo 2 was peak Halo then?
Absolutely.
I've always felt that
competitive
way.
standpoint and for... Well, I feel like for a competitive standpoint, I believe though that montaging in Halo 3 is like there's nothing that beats it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like, Halo 3 montages take the cake.
Right.
Just because of the
theater. The competent theater system.
Yeah, I mean you can't compete. You cannot compete with that. But in terms of, like when people want to nerd out about skill gap and, skill ceilings and to me, I believe that a high skill gap keeps people addicted to the game. I really do. Even at a lower skill level, I think that people that constantly improve and they're able to see their improvement, not the game doing it for them, is the most rewarding and the most addicting factor to a video game. And I think that that's why Call of Duty, even though it's so simple and it has like a higher skill gap, it's able to attract a lot of people because it has that fundamental understanding of not changing that formula about itself. Same with Counter-Strike. But Halo's gone through so many experimental changes, you can't even recognize the fucking game anymore.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's fascinating stuff you're bringing up, man. What's it called? Halo to me was always the Super Smash Brothers melee of first person shooters. If anybody that played Smash Brothers, Smash Brothers melee has all the glitches and all the highest skill gap, and I mean it's super hype. Like those events get like super hype. So I'm glad you brought this up. I wanted to talk about what's it called? Discuss the best Effin Halo Frag movie competition, which you got 4th place in, by the way. So congratulations.
Yeah. I was not expecting that. I was like, oh, all right.
Your video does go.
It was a blessing to get that, man.
That's a good video, man. The gameplay, it was that gameplay that got you there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Both games, I think, but the gameplay.
So let me confess a little something right now about that video, okay? So I recently got DaVinci Resolve, right? And I had experimented with it in the past, but this was the first video where I was like, okay, I'm not just gonna do like basic clip to clip. I'm gonna have some fucking transitions. I'm gonna have some visuals. I'm gonna actually, try to have a little fun with this. But I didn't have a lot of high caliber clips. because I don't like. So I don't know if you know this. A quick side story. Cold Zodiac and I. One of the main things I play with the boys for is we're trying to get Goat to 1 million kills. So like I'll go into fours and I'll hit clips and shit like that with the boys and like we'll laugh our ass, have a great time. But most of the things that I hit are in CBG, and I do that for like YouTube and like just general easy marketability things because it's a lot easier for me to go into a CBG game and have like a week's worth of postable content on YouTube and Instagram and all that instead of having to grind hardcore for weeks looking for a main. You know, like people, the average person watching a lot of videos, they don't care about the tier scale. They just care about the Jaros, which is, you know, whatever. But for my video, like I went in editing that knowing that like my clips were subpar because in my mind, like there's a ranking system to clips. You got like at the like mine in my head are low tier because it's on custom game browser, right? After that, you got default matchmaking clips. After that, you got ranked matchmaking clips. And then after that, top tier MLG. I guess there's 2 more tiers. MLG ranked clips, and then above that, MLG ranked on pros clips, right? Or LAN or whatever you want to say. Right. So to me, in my head, I'm at the bottom of the barrel when I made this thing. I'm like, man, I just hope people like the style and they like the entertainment of it. Hope they like the flicks and like the tech of it all. I'm not trying out here and calling myself the best gamer of all time. I'm trying to like have fun and make videos like I used to watch when I was a kid. And bro, like I got to do the final render and then I fucking realized I didn't like, cause I'm new to the program. I didn't set the timeline to 60 FPS.
It's always like that. It fucking clips.
Dude, it fucking went. I was like, no. And I tried to do like the conversion thing, and it's like the syncopation was all fucked up. I'm like, oh no, no.
That fucks up the entire sync, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, it's 30 FPS. I literally can't do anything. I'm just stuck with it. So
I love that video, man. It looked great at 30 FPS, 60 FPS. Great video.
Thank you, man. Like, and I was, because like what sucks is the preview on the program does 60, but the actual I was so sad, bro. I was like, why does it look like this? And I started looking, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, all the little nuance.
Anyway.
Dude, you should have took it into
yeah.
Topaz. Took it into Topaz, up the frame rate to 60 FPS there. Actually does a pretty good job. It's an AI.
I've never heard of that.
I'll give it to you, yeah.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah,
I've learned my lesson, so I'm not gonna do it anymore, but I don't if I have friends or whatever, I'll definitely yeah. But yeah, so that song, I've never like all my crappy montages before that, when I'm like learning how to edit and everything again. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm very like I'm into Bones, I'm into Suicide Boys, I'm into Dark Trap. That song is a song my girlfriend, you know, put me on. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna make this the song that my girlfriend gave me. I'm not gonna do the old Bones thing this time, but this next one I got, Goat and I are going to be doing a dualtage, and we're using Bones for one of our songs. So it's going to be that dark theme again. Whereas this one, I wanted it to be more poppy, more like jazz hip hop, you know, like very colorful, very, very fun.
The new one you're doing, or the one that you edited, the Don't Go video?
That I did, yeah. The Don't Go video, I wanted it to be very like disco, dancey, poppy, bright. But I usually, you know, because, you know, I don't know. Okay, so quick note on Cult Zodiac. The main reason, other than, you know, obviously keeping the community together, the aesthetic of our org is based off of Bo, if people can't tell, aka Office Hyena. So this org is something we wanted to start for a multitude of reasons. One was to keep all the boys together, but our goal and objective was to support our boy Bo, his art, his efforts, and his contributions to Halo. And when he was on Mantra, for those of you that don't know, in 2020, Team Mantra took first place for the Halo Reach champs, and he was signed as a content creator on there. And actually, you know what? I don't know if he wants me to talk about this next part.
Well,
I'm not going to go into details.
I'm not have to go into,
but here, yeah, this. I'm going to summarize it so that I don't give out too much information. But we have a vendetta against the current org that's in the Halo scene that treated him like shit and rescinded an offer.
That's fucked up.
They and like a lot of it has to do with them caving into COVID and the times back then, but they screwed over our boy Bo. And then on top of that, he's getting his clips remade and stolen by other content creators. I'm sure I'm not gonna throw shade, but we all know. that Mastery had the bubble shield lift clip in it years before the other one went viral. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Where were we?
Okay. All right, where were we?
You're talking about Bo, people copying Bo's clips and stealing his like style, or stealing his clips
So
directly.
there's his clips. Yeah, they remake the clip or whatever, and you know it's good for them that they brought a lot of attention to Halo. But the fact that Bo didn't get any credit at all, kind of offset a lot of us in the community that are his friends. So when we made the org, we're like, all right, well, we're gonna keep the boys together as this franchise crumbles. But as we go from other games, we're gonna keep the boys together. 2, we're gonna support Bo in his efforts because he's been voted the greatest montager of all time. So we're gonna make sure that his art and his things aren't lost because the franchise wants to go down. But 3rd also is that we wanted to come through and beat these guys that did us wrong or our friend wrong at these events. So I don't know if you know this or not, but the Halo Championship Series is on its last year this year. And for every major event that they have side tournaments at these events. And they feature all of the classic games. So they have like a Halo 3, Halo 5, Halo 2, CE. But we've gone to every event, and every single one we've podiumed, if not first place. Every single one.
That's insane, dude. That's
And today, as of today, we are currently at PAX up in Seattle with our roster, and Goatmanjaro, Repentancy, a few of the other boys are going to go up there, and there is a gauntlet Halo tournament at PAX in which they have to go through a tournament with all of the classic Halo games for different rounds. And we're expected to take, obviously, first in that one too. But get this, it doesn't start till 10 fucking p.m. So they're not going to be done with that tournament until like 5 in the morning.
well, they're gonna be up all night. Yeah, they're gonna be up all night.
Yeah, like there's no, like it's single elim, but fuck, dude, if it's like best of 3, like those are 15, 20-minute games each. Like, no, like that's not.
And that's if there's no hiccups or anything with the equipment or anything, you know.
Right, and it's supposed to be 64 teams, so good fucking luck.
Man. So just for reference, when we say Bo, we're talking about Office Hyena there. For those.
Yeah.
Listening.
Sorry, that's just.
What's it called? We touched this on this the softwares. You said you dabble in DaVinci Resolve. Do you use any other softwares at all for video editing?
I mean, for thumbnails and shit, I use like Photoshop, but other than that, another one I use, it's freeware. It's called OpenShot Video Editor. I use that for my vertical editing because it's just DaVinci takes forever to load up, and when I'm in a hurry, just trying to like throw something together real quick in like 3-5 minutes, it's a lot easier for me to just use that program. But that has everything you need on it for just basic trimming, FPS scaling, whatever you need. And if you're just doing quick edits, it's really easy because it doesn't take up memory.
Gotcha. And were you able to watch any of the like top entries in the best Effin Halo?
We had a watch party with the org. So yeah, we and all the boys got together in Discord call, and we all watched it. Well, like the whole playlist.
Nice. What did you think? We'll just touch base on the top 3. What did you think of Tempest, Halo on PlayStation, and Eli X's Montage? The ones that got the.
Okay, so my favorite is the PlayStation one. I love the aesthetic of the classic PlayStation-esque color scheme and the syncopation to the music, but the I felt like out of the org, everyone was like, "Damn, I feel like I like the first video better. Blake, it had better clips." I'm like, "Yeah, it did have better clips, but this thing was like ice cream to me, man. It was fun to watch." Like, you know, and then Eli's video, like, I haven't talked to Eli in a lot because I've been busy with real life and, running the org and all that shit. But Eli's my fucking boy. If I was to ever see him in real life, he's getting a hug and a free joint. Like, I don't care. Let's ride or die right there, boy. Eli X and I, like, you ever see those memes? It's like you haven't seen that friend in like 5 years, and like they go and shake hands. They're all like hugging.
Oh, it's like right? you just stopped talking like the other day, right? Like you just met the other day, yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, so like he's gone hardcore focus on Infinite, and I I love him, but I can't. I get bored watching Infinite, so I can't. It's not as engaging as like watching the MCC content to me. So it's hard for me to like make time for that. But it doesn't mean I don't like the highlights and shit of like the good multi kills and everything. But his video, I mean, I didn't expect anything less at all. Like his like I don't know how to judge an Infinite like
What's
like so the only way I go to judge
yeah.
is go gap at Infinite. It's hard to fucking aim in that game. So like I know he's fighting against really bad code like while hitting those, and that to me is like extremely impressive.
What did you think about the gameplay in Tempest? Because I know we talked about Halo 2 and how Halo 2 is like, the peak Halo. That I felt like that gameplay was nuts, dude.
Yeah, it was tech. It was extremely tech. But like I'm saying, like it's not to downplay it or anything. I just like the visual, the PlayStation thing. That's my bias. Like, it doesn't, like the clips are in Tempest.
On a random note,
I mean,
do you,
I want to say is the Trucchio level.
we're like millennials here. We grew up with the PlayStation. At least I'm assuming you grew up with the PlayStation. You said you liked that video a lot. Do you remember that creepy sound that the original PlayStation would make, like right before right when you started it?
It depends. Was it the first one or the
The first one. The first one. The first one. Yeah. It was like this like creepy,
like,
scary.
what?
Yeah, dude. It's like this like creepy, scary fucking ambient sound that like you're like, shit, is somebody watching me or something? And then the game would start. You'd forget all about it.
That's the video card firing up the diesel engine because how old that system is. It runs on fucking like gasoline, dude. Like it's.
So,
but no, there's there's also, if you guys remember, like the CRT hum was a big deal. So depending on the model of CRT you had, like you get a different hum out of your PlayStation.
oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like you turn on your TV, like whether it be cable television, anything that's got the yellow, red, white in it. When you plug it in, you get that static feedback to it. That's like a lot of kids now, they hear that and they're like, "What the hell is that? Turn it off!" It's like, yeah, it sounds like a fucking bug. And then like all the guys our age are like, "Oh man, I can sleep now. Wow, this is nice." It's like white noise to us.
Yeah. So,
yeah, CRTs, especially capping back in the day, like on VHS, like that's how I used to do my old like clip collecting. You have like a fucking VHS running in a single TV unit, you're playing on it,
that's crazy, dude. I was gonna ask you, how did you get involved in the like Frag movies and in the space and the Halo montage space? Like, what got you interested in that?
I've just been a fan, and I made some really crappy ones when I was a kid, so I never got big. The only time I got any recognition for videography back in the day were my tip videos for Halo 3. I taught like, remember how Gandhi and them used to do like, this is the Gandhi hop, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So I did the same shit, but for Halo 3, because everything that MLG did was Halo 2 tips until till Tom Taylor came around. I was like, oh yeah, throw an 8 at your feet. They'll never expect it. G4 started doing the pro tip videos. But I was doing that shit before G4. They stole my fucking idea. I'm kidding. But so my original exposure to montaging was actually Winter Wonderland and the Ogre montages back in the day that were on YouTube.
Okay.
The Halo 2 ones especially were my favorite. So I watched the Halo 1 ones, but I didn't fall in love and like understand MLG until the Halo 2 ones. And my favorite one from Halo 2 has to be Gunshot 2 montage. I mean, I love the Shook ones. I love all the other ones too, but then Walshies is great with the bullet and all that. But dude, like Gunshot's fucking music choice in that montage was so fucking good.
I'm trying to think. I just did a reaction video to that montage, and I'm trying to think if that's the one with that quote, like the death of millions is a statistic or something like that. He starts it off with like this like ghoulish kind of quote, and then he goes
the opener they talk about the difference between luck and matchmaking and all that. Yeah.
and he just wrecks everybody for.
And then it has like them blonde, it has all the smiley faces pouring all over the screen.
Yes,
like
by Kiwi.
Serious rendering.
Edited by Kiwi, yeah. That video still holds up till today, man. That's a really well done video, man.
Yeah. A lot of my inspiration for like flashes and transitions from that shit came from me watching those. Like I learned a lot of video editing from that montage alone. And I mean, let alone the fucking like this guy was putting MLG clips from the broadcast in his like with commentary from Puckett.
Right.
in
Nobody
his
was doing
montage.
that back then.
Man,
Nobody was
dude,
doing
like
that.
nobody could do that. Like that was insane, bro.
Now, were you inspired by gameplay editing or both when watching Frag movies, montages?
Well, it was mostly gameplay because of Gunshot. I was obsessed with Kilimanjaros and trying to hit him as a kid. That was, I think, the ultimate testament to a clip was a Kilimanjaro and his FFA Jaros with double shots. Like, bro, like, oh fuck, like losing my mind, right? But if you if you really want to know what got me into like the artistic side, it would be Halo 3, Phurion and Fluxy's dualtage.
Oh yeah, that's the most watched Halo montage of all time. 10 million plus views.
Right, right, and there's a good reason for that.
Well, the clips are insane, and the editing is
Well,
fucking dope. There's a whole story to that.
yeah, yeah. My bias, of course, is like back in the day, we used to like a lot of Halo 2 kids. Like I'm sure you know this, but we were skateboarders, man. We watched things like Jackass, Viva La Bam. We listened to metal. Breaking Benjamin was the soundtrack for Halo 2, right?
Right.
So you go watch Fear and Plexi, and the fact that he had scary kids scaring kids, like I don't think you could have got any more grassroots than that for the Halo community. Like that was a fucking banger ass song. The opening is a fucking ricochet headshot off the floor. Like it was dirty, man.
Nowadays, what do you pay more attention to, the clips still, or the editing and the overall kind of like pacing and composition of the montage?
Well, a big reason I even play video games to this day, I was going to quit about 5-6 years ago. But then when Mantra took first and Bo, aka Office Hyena, was putting out, he put out fucking Death Machine and all that. But when I saw Crossroads to Armageddon, that fucking video, dude, like watching him LBR people with RRBX combos, I literally got inspired to fucking dedicate myself to mastering every single button combo and start using them in clips, because up until that point, I was just like, oh yeah, Jaro's this, Jaro's that, cool, multi-kill. But the fact that he's doing it while icicle sniping or fucking like 360 RRBXing, like, dude, like it's, to me, the creativity of the skill gap is what I watch for now. So people like Office Hyena, Satricchio, fucking like those kind of clips where you're seeing lightning snipes that go into quad shots or full killtrocity excessive shots. Like it is the amount of input accuracy per frame you have to have is what I'm looking at nowadays. Like I see that as it's like skateboarding, you know, somebody hitting a tray flip off of a 50-50 is a lot more impressive to me than somebody dark sliding. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I totally get you on that. Like watching what Hyena can do in the game is fucking incredible, dude. Like he really like his editing is rather simplistic, but he really highlights the gameplay in a way that you can kind of understand the deepness of Halo 2, and that's what I love so much about his videos. Although I'm not as well versed in all the glitches and everything as you, but I mean, Halo 2 to me was peak Halo and my favorite Halo of all of them. It's the only one I really played, to be honest with you. Every once in a while.
Yeah, and you're not alone in that sentiment either. I mean, you go around, like I worked at a LAN center for a few years, right? Before whatever they shut down for renovations, but they I'd go in, people would come in, I'm like the main manager there, and they're like, "Hey, what do you play?" I'm like, "Oh man, I'm weird. I play 20-year-old games. I play fucking Halo 2." They're like, "No way." And I'm like, they're like, "Yeah, man, we got it at the bar. You want to play it on the console?" They're like, "Yeah, it is." So we'd have all these 30-year-olds, all these fucking, all the parents would come. They'd sit at the bar, they'd drink, they'd play Halo against each other and Mario Kart and shit, and the kids would be playing Fortnite on the other side of the building. But there is a huge, huge hidden reserve of Halo fans, like millions of people that are itching for the old Halo style and the old Halo aesthetic to come back. And they're not coming back because of the aesthetic of everything nowadays they can't relate to. They can't even pick up a controller and play the new game because of how confusing it is.
Right. I mean, that's
what I'm hoping
Halo was the biggest game. Like at a certain point, it was the biggest game in the world. And, you know, I think a lot of us can resonate, at least those of us that grew up playing Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 3, with wanting to be a professional gamer back then. I mean, that was all the rage back then. I remember they were making TV shows about it.
Red Bull had its own, dude, I'm going to let you on a little secret here, right? So I went to MLG San Diego in '08, and I wasn't an admin yet at that event. I became an admin like 2 months after that, but I was just a ref, but for a game battles, right? So I show up with my team and I was able to compete because I wasn't administering and I wasn't doing scorekeeping or anything like that for that event. They didn't need me for it. They had like land staff or whatever. So we go in and we bracket fucked everybody for like the first few rounds. We were the first team done for the first heat of the entire event. And yeah, it was open bracket and it was a pub stomp or whatever. But Red Bull noticed us and they came up to us after the show. They're like, hey, come over to the Red Bull Lounge and hang out with us, guys. We're like, all right, fuck yeah, let's go. So we go over there and I take my team and we're in the Red Bull Lounge. They're playing half pit FFA. It's fucking Triggers Down in Final Boss, OG Final Boss, like Dynasty Final Boss versus Triggers Down, playing each other in scrims right in front of me. I've got pictures of it to this day that like my friends and I took. But we're sitting there and there's these fucking $1 million contract players. I'm over their shoulder just like taking notes in my head of every little thing I see. Because I know back then, bro, they didn't have VOD and they didn't have YouTube. So like I'm getting behind the scenes strat access, bro. I'm like, oh my God, like this is fucking crazy, right? So I go in there and like I hop in the FFA and I'm holding my own against these guys. Like I'm top 4, top 3, like consistently every game. And I'll never forget, Stromside pulled me aside. He's like, hey, check this out, dude. And he shows me this cross map nerdy ass fucking pre-nade from like bot a fucking snipe over to the enemy sniper off the rip. And I was like, no fucking way, right? So like they'd break off of pit and he would pre-nade the sniper and like shoot the guy with his BR instead of picking up snipe and they'd be dead. And he push up through sword. The enemy doesn't have snipe and he's got snipe in their sword already. And I was like, holy fuck, dude, right? So I'm sitting there and Red Bull, they come up and they're like, hey, so Final Boss, we're in works with a TV program with them for USA Network, and we need an amateur team to follow throughout the season, and we're going to have the show do a side-by-side of what it takes to prep as a pro and what it takes for an up-and-coming team. Oh, and I was like, no fucking way, no fucking way. So we started freaking out, like we're all hanging out, like all of us, the Red Bull reps and like my team, we all go out to In and Out that night. We come back, we're partying poolside with Neighbor and all the boys. They're arm wrestling, we're all hanging out. We go up to Triple X's room, we're all playing games and shit. And Championship Sundays the next day. And Final Boss gets like fucking knocked out of the bracket so bad that they lost their Red Bull sponsorship that event. I don't know if you remember that, but in San Diego '08, they lost their Red Bull. And from those videos on out, they had to blur out the Red Bull logo on all of the VODs on Walshy's hat because they can't have a fucking sponsorship anymore. Yeah. So if you go back and you watch all those videos, they have like the blur out on his hat is after May '08, I'm pretty sure when the event was, and they lost the Red Bull.
Petty ass Red Bull, bro.
Yeah, Red Bull, well, you know them, they only like sponsor people that finish first or are the best in the world at what they do. I mean, that's across all sports.
I get it, but there's got to be some leniency there, you know? Like these are
not on their contract, bro. It was cut like, dude.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
You think esports contracts are bad now, bro? Like, you should have seen what it was back then, dude. Like, can you tell me how? But like, to be fair, they were a dynasty, like, in that they were not dropping games tournaments before that in Halo 2.
Oh yeah, they weren't like rather good.
Yeah, literally, like they did what we did at fucking SLC. I don't know if you guys know that, but Zodiac we did not drop a single game at the Halo 2 tournament.
Speaking of the Halo 2 tournament, are you talking about the Halo 2 tournament back in November of last year?
No. So they have Worlds every year, which is like October, and then Level 50 did their own non-HCS tournament on classic hardware. HCS tournaments are all done on modern hardware for like new Xboxes and things.
Well, I was gonna ask, how did you guys do in that event at the Level 50 event? Did you guys go?
We did go. I couldn't go because I had a new job and I was in my 90-day probation, so I couldn't go.
Damn,
I think Rep was like getting married or something at that time, and then Goat was, I don't know what Goat was doing, but we were like, we're not gonna go to this one. We're just like, we're gonna go to Worlds because we can afford that. We can for sure do that as an org, and it's like those points transfer to Liquidpedia. In our org, we're trying to get sponsors, which means you need points. So if we were to prioritize any finances towards an event, it's always going to be for that, because we need to be able to, literally pay for everything.
Sad. You got to go to the big ones, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, not to play down the level 50 event. Personally, that's more, in my mind, more core Halo, you know, because on classic hardware, classic LAN, classic Halo 2, it's not the Vista port.
Right.
So to me, like, hats off to those guys, obvious legends, obviously best players in the world at classic Halo. So not to downplay their tournament or anything, we just couldn't go because of life constraints, and we had to prioritize either points or that event.
I was gonna go to that one myself.
Really well, yeah.
I got a job on that. I got a job during that time, like of this full-time job, working at a gym during that time, and I couldn't go, and I was kind of upset because didn't end up working out at that job. So I was like, what the hell, man? I should have went to the event. Would have been more memorable than this damn fucking job. Moving on to this question that I got here. This is just saying that I was on a Counter-Strike 2 Discord talking about Counter-Strike 2 movie making. And this guy said, he goes, montages haven't been a thing since 2012, bro. And it got me thinking about the art form and how it's more of a nostalgia piece now than anything. What do you think we can do to make like montages relevant again?
Keep making them. Keep outperforming the big league guys that are getting paid by places like fucking FaZe Clan and all these other. Sorry. Let me.
You're good. You're good.
Before I say some very nasty truths.
You can speak your mind, bro. This is yeah.
Hey, if you have to sell coke to keep your org like afloat, and you can't just like, you know, just be a fucking real like trick shotting clan, like what the fuck are you? Like, sorry, but like FaZe Clan has fallen so far from grace. They want to talk about like montaging and everything dying. It's because of FaZe Clan, because they've gone from fucking gaming things to reality TV shows and just dumb shit. Like, that's what I want us to do for Zodiac too, for our artistic side of things, for montaging or clips or whatever, is we want that old school, not only Halo 2, but the old modern warfare, Counter-Strike, like Spawn montages. You remember him?
I can't. I don't. Not off the top of my head.
You haven't? Oh, dude. Okay,
you have to send us some links.
The old school 1.6 Counter-Strikes. The player's name is Spawn.
Oh yeah,
the guy that essentially invented the ninja defuse, bro. Like,
yes, I've seen that montage. Spawn, living legend, right?
Yeah. Oh, he has a bunch. Yeah, he has a bunch. He has a bunch. But there's like that to me, that's the style that people want and that people still watch, right? So if you go out and you put like modern AI like Call of Duty stuff out, or like non-gameplay AI footage of stuff, like a lot of these orgs and places are doing, it's not gonna resonate with the OG player base because our standards are set at those videos. So if you can't meet or exceed those standards, then you shouldn't even be doing it. But that's their money. If they want to fucking corrupt like themselves and make themselves look like shit with bad editing, that's on them. But I'll tell you right now, you and like, I can name 3 other editors, Kiwi or fucking whatever, right? Like, you guys have more talent than these major multi-million-dollar orgs that are putting out these trash, like barely edited, like non-syncopated videos for their players.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. That means a lot, man.
Yeah, well, it's true. Like, you can just watch the video and know, man. Like, you don't need me to tell you that.
Now, do you think Halo and Halo montage space can ever make a comeback, or like, do you think that like the torch has been passed permanently? Like, there's no, I know you mentioned.
No, I think it's gonna stay stagnant. There's always gonna be fans that are like there no matter what. But if you're talking about re-expansion, that's on the franchise to bring back, like I talked earlier, the simplicity to bring more players in. Like once like Call of Duty, right? There's fucking, I could like right now, I'm sure on Twitch, there's 50,000 people watching a bunch of different streamers play COD. And the reason behind it is because they understand what's going on the screen. It's easy to follow, whatever, right? No big deal. But if you put on something like Halo Infinite, where there's like bubble shields and weird shit, like propulsions and all this weird shit going on in the stream, hammers, it's like 15 different weapons in a competitive environment. Like, no. People are going to get fucking lost way too quick, and they're not going to want to look at alternative media that's also entertaining from that industry. Like, let's be real, like USA Network, G4 TV, MLG put Halo on the map. Like, everybody knew about this because of the competitive scene from Halo, and everybody wanted to play ranked, and it was a huge cultural phenomenon across all gamers. Everybody from every game center wanted to play Halo.
Blake,
And nowadays they can't even fucking figure it out.
they gotta hire you as a consultant, bro.
Battles on your control.
They gotta hire you as a consultant, bro, because you have so much knowledge, bro. But I'm saying, like, you're so knowledgeable about everything. Like, you have a really great perspective on everything, and a really good, like, understanding of what's going on, really. How to make things thrive again.
That's the problem, though. Like, well, that's the problem. Like, people, like, I don't know if you know this, but Halo actually asks Goatman to go to their testing studios and give them feedback. And bro, like, we give feedback, but they don't listen to us because it starts holding all of their managers accountable for all the mistakes they've made for the industry. And it'll cause inner office anti-sentimentalism towards their management. And that's, Microsoft will not have that for sure. Like, they will not allow that in their studio. Like, if they tried letting pros like have a say once with Neighbor and all that, and like they kind of tried developing things, but at the end of the day, like, they kept pushing their views and all their stuff because their data they think is going to do this, X, Y, and Z for sales. And I've talked to a lot of people, like, whether they be TOs, I'm not going to name any names, getting put in trouble, but that's the office politics of Halo right now. For people that are actually boots on the ground in the studios, I know people in the motion capture department. I know a lot of people, and like, the resentment towards Microsoft is a real thing. And even though it's a new studio, like, if they were to hire on pros or former admins or former people, I highly doubt they would even listen. It would just be to save face of like, oh, well, we hired this person, we tried it. Like, they can't give us crap now. We're just going to go do whatever we want. But it's the same thing that you see in the weed industry, man. Like, I already know how it's going to go. Like, consultants, they get screwed over a lot. Like, a lot. They'll fix an entire facility and barely get anything for it, and then like some dumbass takes all the credit. It's fucking, and I don't want that. I'd rather just have these people get fired and then they hire me after these people are gone. Like, that would be the ideal situation.
Yeah. The issue I see is they just keep appealing to the lowest common denominator with their games, and it's like a cash grab pretty much. Like, they're just after money. It seems like there's no passion behind what they're doing. No real. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, we can say that. I just think that they're misguided. I think they're incompetent. I don't think this is intentional. You know, I don't think they're trying to tank it on purpose. I just don't think they fully fundamentally understand the market ability of Halo and how to do it. For instance, like, if I was to tell you, hey, hey, at the end of a tour do you know what a tour de Walsh is?
No, I do not.
Okay, so for the viewers, a tour de Walsh is 1,000 kill FFA on midship.
Okay.
Compares to 1,000, right? So it's like, what, 25 kills a game usually on matchmaking. So that times whatever the fuck, right? It's a gauntlet. You fucking have to grind it, right? And sorry, 1 second here. That kind of mayhem that is in the game at the end of that map, like, wall to wall, like, the walls are covered in blood. There's explosion grenades, like, of like shrapnel all over the map. There's dead bodies everywhere. It's a very gory OG take on Halo. And people that played like Halo 1 campaign, even, you shoot a dead elite, what happens? Like, there's fucking blue blood all over the place, right? It's like Doom, you know, and people that played Halo loved that shit because that's what made it a cool, mature game. And they haven't had those kind of blood effects, if in any at all, like barely any, since Halo 3. And they're trying to like get into the T game market or whatever so teens can play it. But like, realistically, bro, like, we know how it goes. Like, when I was 14, 15 years old, you
Get your hands on your parents. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like, the kids are gonna get the fucking game for Christmas, guys. Like, it's not gonna affect sales to take blood out of the game.
And
You're not gonna increase it.
the appeal of the game is the fact that you're going out of your way to get it, and you're not supposed to have it. That's a big appeal to the younger.
Yeah. Right. There's this coolness factor to it because it's like, oh man, this is gory. I better not get caught playing this, or like,
Right.
you know, like there's cursing in it. Sergeant Johnson smoking a cigar while like chain gunning fucking grunts. Like, it's a war simulator, God forbid, you know? Like, and nowadays, like, they've gone so hyper into the like the squishiness, and they have like AI that like talk to you and like remind you when weapons are gonna spawn, and like it's so corny, dude.
And they have some gay ass armors too, dude. Like some super gay ass looking armor.
Nothing like, okay, so like Halo's armor system in Halo 2, I think was perfect. There's too much customization and there's too much crazy shit now that like
Yes.
I don't even know if I'm looking at a Halo character anymore.
Yeah, what the fuck is
Like
this
there's
new? Yeah, dude.
there's there's like a guy with a sun for his face, like or some crazy shit, you know, like I don't know, man. But like I've read all the books and shit, and I don't remember any Spartan armors that can like get like like that's coming from a guy that actually read the books, like not just like some, you know, like multiplayer dork, you know. Like,
Right. Dude, you're totally right about like the simplicity of the game is what makes the game fun, what makes the game have depth, all that stuff that you said. Like, I'm completely in agreement on that. Like, they need to keep things simple. And that's why, like, for me, I don't know if you're familiar with like why I wanted to be a pro. Like, for me, like, I wanted to be a pro back in Halo 2. And then when they made the transition to Halo 3, I'm like, let me see if I can be a pro in this. And I played the game and I'm like, I can't play this shit, man. Like, I can't play this. So I got into making montages. I got into making montages, and that's
yeah,
now I'm addicted to it, you know. But what's it called? You hit the nail on the head as far as like why I didn't want to continue playing the game like that, and I wanted to make art or whatever. It was because I just couldn't. I couldn't. Once you taste Halo 2, like
doesn't
deep
scratch
Halo
the itch,
2,
man.
yeah, dude. When you play that game and you have fun, like you're actually like in it and like you're decent. I'm not as good as I'm not that good now, but I used to be decent back in the day. I used to be able to double shot and stuff back in like the Halo 2 era, you know, like that was I used to claw it too. And like that was fun, dude. That was fun as hell, man, back in the day, dude. Like and Halo 3 just never
Fast TK, fast paced, you know, you're just going. It's like it's an adrenaline rush, man, just constant.
Yeah, dude.
15 minutes of like a fucking MLG 15 to 30-minute flag game. Like, bro, like there is nothing more. Like I could be driving 120 miles an hour and I won't get as much adrenaline as a fucking game like that.
Oh, that puts your fucking anxiety through the roof, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like if you're fucking 2-2, like, like and you're into OT, like 15 deep, bro, like you are breathing, man. Like your palms are sweating.
So we got a couple
There's
more
so much
questions.
pressure, especially on single elim.
Yeah, we got a couple more
Wait, go on.
questions to go through, and then we're pretty much we can shoot the shit after that. But I just want I'm gonna ask like two or three of
I
these.
gotta go pretty soon.
Okay. What's
All
it
right,
called?
let's do 2 or 3 more. We're good.
Yeah. What's your honest take
Okay,
on?
sure.
Yeah. What's your honest take on frag movies as an actual art form? And do you ever see it becoming like bigger than it currently is?
Yeah, and I think it's just gonna get more popular because gaming's becoming more popular. To me, I see it as the same at when I was growing up and I was in jujitsu and taekwondo and shit, and we would have tournaments, but there would also be before the sparring, there would be people that would do these things called forms, which are collections of karate moves, but they would syncopate them to music. So they would do like full on like combat scenes with each other to like Linkin Park or like to, you know, whatever song that they liked. And it like that, I think people really like combat to music and like anime AMVs, like all of these things are time tested. And as long as we keep making them, they'll be successful.
Alrighty, and then can you name a few of your favorite frag movie editors and gameplay wizards that you respect? And can you tell us why those are so special to you?
Well, the only reason I even play this game, the only respect I've ever wanted was from Office Hyena. So he's number one for the gameplay and the wizardry. For editing, I would say that uh God, if it's on Halo 3, Phurion, and if it's on Halo 2, probably Kiwi, just because, you know, obviously my bias on the Shook. Or yeah, excuse me, my bias on
On the gunshot montage.
the Gunshot. Yeah, so it's like those guys, and then there was one more guy. Big shout out to this. This is probably the shortest, but honestly the highest tiered montage of all time, even though it's only like a minute 30. It's Nated's Muggsy montage, where he hits all clips on like remember I was going through the tier list earlier? Every clip from that video is like him hitting an exterm on straight ripping or something. Or
I have to check
like
that out.
fucking frenzy on snipe down.
You gotta send me that, man.
Yeah.
I love Muggsy's work. Love
You haven't
Muggsy's
seen
work.
it?
No, I have not.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm really
Watch
interested in watching that one. I seen all the other ones you mentioned. What's it called? Speaking of Phurion and Hyena, I got Hyena coming on next week, on Saturday at 2 p.m.
Nice.
And so I'm looking forward to talking to him about it. You know, I noticed there's whole levels to this Halo 2 stuff. Like you're blowing my mind with all the stats and all the information that you have on the game. You know, I I wish I knew a little bit more so I could add a little bit more. But dude, it's
Just
fascinating.
wait until you talk to Hyena.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure
He knows more than I do.
he's
Beyond,
yeah, dude.
beyond the beyond, bro. He's at the bottom of the glacier. Straight up.
And then I want to try and get Phurion on. I've been trying to get him on for a while now, and he's told me he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then like, you know, never happens and never comes into fruition. But I know he wants to do it.
And I used to talk. I'll reach out to him, man. I'll tell him to do it. I'll be like, hey man, do me a favor. Go talk to PTW, man.
Yeah, dude. Actually,
Phurion was my first donator on Twitch.
dude, Phurion, that's awesome. Phurion donated $140 towards the Best Effin Frag movie competition. So like, we talk every once in a while too. Like, he's a good friend of mine, man.
He's still around.
Yeah, that dude's a fucking legend, dude. That's one of the guys that got me into Halo montaging. Like, I saw what he was doing, and I'm like, man, like, I could be Phurion. Like, I could be a Phurion type of dude. You know, I wanted to be Phurion back in the day. You know, that was my inspiration.
Yeah, his stick montage was like beautiful, man.
Eclectic, like that was the long range.
It's 1v1 spawn sticking, dude. Like, forget about it. You're like, I was scared to play that kid, dude. I was like,
my question is to you. My question to you is: do you think like a guy like Phurion could have been pro if he had gone to like events and stuff? Like, he was so fucking good back in the day.
he did go to events.
Did he?
He did go to events. He placed outside of top 32, but he does have a montage of him collecting clips on a bunch of people that came through his hotel room. So they played a bunch of FFAs and scrims, and there's actually a montage he made of him at an event against semi-pros. So if you ever want to watch that, that's where he stacks up in terms of competition.
Man, dude, you are like a wealth of like a fountain of knowledge here on the entire Halo scene. This is incredible. I thought I knew my shit like when it comes to montages and like montage history, but like you really know your stuff, dude. It's impressive, man. I'm really glad we had this chat.
My one hobby aside from me is my better.
But let's talk about that. What's your favorite? First of all, where are you at? Where are you living at? Colorado, California?
California, Northern
California. Okay, so yeah, Cali weed, dude. Cali weed's fucking. Oh man.
Yeah.
So what do you guys smoke out there?
World's best weed, because I'm in the section of Northern California that does all of the research and development for the exotics. A lot of my good personal friends in real life. Shout out to Ted from Alien Labs. He's friends with Hex over at Optic Gaming. Shout out to Optic Gaming. The only org aside from Cult Zodiac that openly lets their players smoke weed. By the way, for those that don't know, if you're big into weed, support Optic Gaming in every way that you can. As well as Envy, because they own Envy, kind of like how Toyota owns Silence. So those two guys, big shout out to them. But yeah, so we do R&D over here. My buddy Brian that I work with, he just recently got me some genetics from Limited Trees that won the Olympics like 2 years ago. So I've got some Versace 6 cuts in my closet right now, as well as like a bunch of fucking genetics in the seed vault, as well as a pinati and an original glue, putting out fucking big numbers in the backyard right now.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so jealous, bro. I actually stopped smoking weed in 2020. Oh no, 2019, and then the next year they legalized weed here in Illinois. They legalized the shit. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like they got all these flavors, all this great shit, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I chose the wrong time to
You're
stop.
stuck with the ditch stuff.
Well, it was absolute pleasure having you on, and I'd love to have you on again, actually, man, when you have a little bit more time. I know we did a whole hour anyway, which is cool.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask you, man. So we do a Cult Zodiac podcast. It's called the Summoning Circle. We're gonna be doing one really soon. We're gonna be recapping all of the events that we did. If you want to come on that, you're more than welcome because we're always looking for like a big group of people for reactions and things.
Hell yeah, dude. I'd love to. Message me on Discord and then just link me. I always got my phone on me. It's always pretty much charged, and I'll definitely look at that. Yeah, for sure, man. Do you want to do any other shout outs?
Halo related. Yeah, non-Halo related for the other podcast that we do. It's more focused on like just us and the boys and running jokes and things, but it's called the Halo Dickheads podcast. So we have that as well. So shout out. That's just mostly me, Goat, and Bo when we do that, and Reaching 8. So shout out to those guys. Who else? Big shout out to Mello, best 1v1 player out there. If you guys haven't seen his content, go check him out. We got E-Raw as well, who does awesome content. All the guys on YouTube that are putting out Halo Sweaty 4s or BTBs. I'm sorry, I can't remember all your names right now, but everybody go out there and give support to all those guys because they're pretty much the last bastion of fucking people making content aside from, the Halo 3 guys and whatnot.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Looking forward to having you back on in the future. And then also I will be hitting you up and for those podcasts that you invited me for. Thank you so much, man.
Totally.
Have a good one, man.